Hey everybody, this is Lorelia coming to you today. Want to talk about analyzing deals. Hey everybody, this is Lorelia coming. Feedback. So as I was saying, coming to you today, want to talk about analyzing data in your real estate deal. So in the last video, I talked about pretty much what's very common in the marketplace right now. A lot of people are talking about a lot of doom and gloom. Do real estate opportunities still exist? Should you sit it out and wait for the opportunities to rise again? And I talked about how only amateurs are going to do that. Those who are seasoned, those who have been through market cycles before, they are sitting and plotting and really putting together a really an what's the word I'm looking for? Looking for a way to be able to proceed, and funding being one of those things that they are looking to pursue. So in this video, I want to talk about the importance of analyzing deals. And so in the last video, I talked about, what I had never did before is pull back the curtain and share with you some conversations that take place when I am working with clients. What's very common in the marketplace, primarily for amateurs, is that many real estate amateurs believe that the money comes first. And I'm a big advocate of the deal comes first, because if you really have a deal, being able to come up with a strategy, that's the word I was looking for before. Seasoned investors are putting together a strategy. But going back to what I said, if you have a strategy, and you know how to implement the strategy, getting the funding is just, it's not as difficult as people make it. The thing is that people want to make funding this 800-pound mammoth or 1,000-pound mammoth. And unfortunately, that fear, that anxiety that comes with all, trying to get this funding is really something that a novice really experiences. And so if you are that person who is a novice and you are wondering, well, how is this possible? I can't stress enough that if you really want to thrive in this industry of real estate, and this is your first market downturn, because like I said in the last video, things were great for the past couple of years. Money was cheap. Money was being just printed by the government. Everyone was able to get access to it. But now you're going to see some things shift. You're going to see those individuals who were telling you the quick, big, bing, zam, quick way to get some money, they're going to begin to quiet their voices. And so if you're a novice and once again, you desire to be able to understand the piece of, how funding makes comes together with funding, then you may find some interest in this. Now, I will warn you, for that novice, and I've said this before in the last video, it may not appeal to you, because if you are that person who is just looking for business credit, looking to get a business Platinum Express, Platinum American Express, my mistake, or Chase, or whatever card you desire, then this video is going to go over your head. For the seasoned investor, for the investor who is doing deals, you will find this video very useful. So what I am going to do is I am going to share my screen. And before I share my screen, I want to make sure I have everything up, because what I'm sharing with you is a call. So in that call, I will give you an idea of what it's like to be able to analyze a deal. And this is what I do with my clients. So I am going to maximize the screen. And just make sure. It's saying the screen is paused. Guess I had to resume share. And it looks like there's some type of block here. We'll try this again. Every liquid piece of money that you have to get into a deal, that's where leverage comes in. Like, why not leverage other people's money? But what I found over the years, the reason why people don't want to leverage other people's money is they really don't have a high enough financial IQ in terms of to be able to manage. Like, they don't want to sit down and really look at the numbers. They kind of just want to go on emotions. And so even what I do with, helping you all with funding and the personal credit, it's not an emotional thing. That's why I have the credit optimization, because it's based on data. It's not based on emotion. The lender who gives you money, he's basing that on data. He's not basing it on, do I like you? Is this person smart? It's based on data. And when you begin to look at your business with data eyes and not from an emotional standpoint, that's the sweet spot. Because that's really why people get caught behind the 8 ball with getting funding. Because I always tell people, anybody can get funding for one time. But how do you repeat that? How do you get the funding, make money from it, and then rinse and repeat? And that's what people get caught up with, So this is a calculator. Purchase price is $199. The rehab is $90,000. And the after repair value is $485. Now, this right here says advance as of purchase, 85%. So what that means is they're going to give 85% of the purchase price. So they're going to fund it 85%. They want you to come up with the difference. That's where the business funding and credit is going to come from. Now, turnaround time to sell. Now, you're telling the lender, it's going to take me 9 months to get into this flip and fix it. And so every lender is different. Some may need to look at the deal to make sure your numbers are right or whatever. And then it's just a matter of you plugging it. Now, they say their interest rate is 11%, but these are all the numbers that you can get, from the lender. Points with hard money, you're going to pay points, 2%. The real estate broker fee, now that is the fee when you sell it, because you got to pay the real estate broker. Now, I know people be like, oh, well, I'll sell it myself to save on fees. It's up to you. I'm a big advocate of, I let the experts do it. Mortgage broker fee, I didn't really add that in. Property taxes, once again, I'm going to do the numbers for, my part of the country, because 8,000, I know it's not, those are not real estate property taxes in the areas you all live in. 8,000, and that's on the low end. And then the state recording transfer tax. Here in New Jersey, we have to pay a state recording and transfer tax. So now the calculator spits it out. And so this is my projected cost. If I go into this rehab, this is how much I'm paying. 359, 250. My potential profit is 125, 750. My return on project cost is 35%. Now this is where it comes in. This is where the funding piece comes in. The purchase and rehab cost is 289. And the loan amount is 259. The loan to deal cost is 90%. The interest payments is 2,376. The points is 5,000. Total interest cost is 21,385. The real estate broker fee is 29,100. State recording fee is 2,985. Title insurance, it doesn't matter what state you in, you need title insurance. Make sure your title clean. And then property insurance is $2,182. Now, my question to you, gentlemen, you see these numbers, you want to get in the deal. How much funding do you feel like you need to have? Because the whole point of hard money is that they're going to do a portion of funding the deal, but then you got to come to the table with money. So that's why, the whole idea of no money down, and a lot of times it's, it works and it's flawed. But when you're doing a rehab, you got to come up with some money. It's not too many. I know in my state, there are lenders who are doing 100%, but you got to have experience and you got to have had worked with them. But this is a deal for a new person. How much funding would you all need? I'm waiting. I want you all to tell me, and then I'll share my results.
So I'm gonna jump in there. I'm not gonna give a number as far as how much funding I think I need, but from my research, I was told if you did hard money lending, they may give you 75% of the money. The other 25%, you're gonna have to find another place to get it. So when
all right, wait, stop there. Let's use that. We're gonna change it. So I'm gonna take this over to 75. Let's use your metric. Okay. All right. So, there you go.
That's even worse.
75%. We're using your metrics.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say is that when you were talking about that, like that guy you talked about earlier, having those credit cards with the cash on it, and he didn't know how to use it or flip it. So from my understanding, that's where you leverage your additional income. Remember, you were talking about somebody else might give you a certain amount of money, but you're gonna have to come to the table with some money. So I was saying, if you had those business credit cards, that's an opportunity to transfer the funds from the business credit card into your bank account and then write a check off of it. Then you can go ahead and use the additional money to pay for any rehab costs or closing costs or whatever you need to do in order to do the deal with the hard money lender.
Okay, so now the next question is, let's say funding is no problem. You could just write a blank check. These are all your costs. How much are you right now? Because remember, a smart investor who knows their numbers, who don't want to get caught behind the 8 ball, they're going to at least be close to these numbers or either spot on. Because this is where people become a deer in headlights because they have no idea what their numbers are. So now they're like, oh, wow, this is how much money I need. So let's just say, you're covering all base. You're running your numbers. You can write a blank check. Funding's no problem. These are your numbers that you're projecting because remember, you are a smart investor. You want to run your numbers to know, okay, is this a deal I want to get into based on the debt service? Because there is some debt you're going to be carrying. Because based on what you said, the hard money lender said, we're going to do up to 75%. Everything else is on you. Now, now you need to know to be able to see, this is the part, gentlemen, the lender ain't never going to do. They're never going to really try to figure out, can you carry the debt service? Because once let's just say you start to go into that realm of, I need private money. How much private money would you need? You got an investor right now, says Gil, Elijah, Robert. I could write a check. How much do I need to write? I'll say right now, if you get that type of person and your response is, well, I got to get to the closing table with the lender for him to tell me what to pay, who loaning you money? Nobody want nobody money like that. You don't even know what your numbers is. Or should I say are? You don't know what your numbers are. So somebody's saying they got a blank check they can write out and you don't know your numbers. So this is an example of, so any takers can, here it is, everything. You didn't have to calculate this. It calculated it for you.
Would it be 49,750?
Oh, you're good. You're good. Okay. So that is a small, like I said, a small snippet of a deal analysis that I had did with some clients of mine. So I wanted to pull back the curtain, because if you notice in that exercise, what we were doing, we were analyzing the deal, and we were, calculating what is necessary, the amount of money that is needed in order to get into the deal. And that is where the guarantee comes in, because many people, when it comes to funding, they're just winging it. Like I said, what appeals to amateurs is the ability of knowing, I just need to get the money. And then when I get the money, then I'll worry about the deal. Then, I'm going to tell you right now, that is backwards. What you're supposed to do, and the best way that I would approach it, is to get the deal, because there are no shortages, at least that I know of, even now in 2023, as I filmed this video, on funding. Now, maybe institutional funding may be a little bit difficult, but I have always talked about the benefits of secondary funding, secondary market funding, and how it can help you in real estate. Even when I talk about business credit or business funding, it is to work as a gap. It is not to be your end all and be all. And that is the piece that many amateurs fall prey to, because they are using the business credit or the business funding to be the be all and end all, when it should be in conjunction too, because you may have a deal where you only have to use a portion of business credit or business funding or any type of alternative financing, but you're not going to know that until you work the numbers. Because the reason why many individuals fail when it comes to desiring or getting to the goal of wanting to get funding is because they approach the lender from a need basis. I need funding. And unfortunately, that screams, I do not know what I'm talking about. I don't understand the numbers of my deal. And I want to play with your money, Mr. Lender, to be able to do the deal and hope that it works out. And that's why I'm a big advocate of, you should be able to have a money conversation with any type of lender. And a money conversation is a conversation where you can literally talk about the deal and how it's going to be profitable for the lender. That's the part in the marketplace no one is ever talking about, because most people are making it seem like funding is this mystical creature, and figure out how to get access to the mystical creature. And then once you figure out how to get access to the mystical creature, then you can do the funding. No. That is why so many people are chasing their tail. That is why most people are sold on, all I need is the American Express Platinum card, and then I'll worry about the deal. And by all means, if that is your goal, then hey, that's your goal. But if you're looking to be able to survive in this current market, where for many investors, things are uncertain, mark my word, as you listen to this video in 2023, those who will be able to ride the wave are those who will strategically know how to analyze access to money, access to deals, and access to their future wealth. It's going to be predicated on those three things. It's not going to be a guessing game. So that is all that I have for you today. Wanted to share with that. As I mentioned to you, I think the title was data, analyzing data for your real estate deals. Like I said, most deals that happen are not based emotionally. When you find yourself in that emotional roller coaster, that's when you begin to lose leverage when it comes to seeking any type of funding. It's because you're too emotionally tied to it. Let it be based on the numbers. When you analyze the numbers and can communicate to anybody, whether it's an institutional lender, alternative finance lender, a private lender, you can literally have a conversation based on numbers, based on your understanding, your analysis of the deal, and now you can communicate why that deal will be profitable for the lender as well as for the person who may be funding your deal privately, so both of you two can win. So once again, this is Lorelia. Leave me your thoughts. If you're watching the replay of this video, please leave your comments. Let me know what you think. And